this is precisely why the woman needs to love the man and care about the man more.
Thank you.
Because, and the reason why is because the women need the emotional stimuli, the women have all the requirements, and the women are more likely to leave.
Okay.
What did I just paint? That's a recipe for someone that if they're not satisfied, they're going to leave.
Right.
They have higher standards, they need more emotional stimuli, right? And they're more likely to leave. So that means that women need to be entertained in a relationship way more than a man does. So by definition, that means she needs to love the man more than he loves her. Because our requirements are low. We're sticking around. We don't end relationships. We don't break up, and we never divorce. Women do all that shit.
Right.
So the reality is that the woman needs to love the man more for the relationship to actually last.
Okay.
But women like you, no offense, older, you guys have a faulty mindset, and you think it's the man's fault. The man needs to entertain me. Blah blah blah. And the reality is that when you want all these things, the guy will play the game. Maybe he'll like entertain you a little bit, take you on a trip here or there, and then have sex with you. Then he'll leave because. It's got to be the other way around, ladies, for the relationship to last. The woman has to like the guy more than he likes her. Never works the other way around. Because the man is the prize. That's another thing, too, that I wanted to say that you guys kind of didn't understand. The man is the prize. And the reason why the man is the prize is you have higher standards than he does, correct?
Okay.
You want a guy that's better than you, right? Makes more money than you. You wanted knowledge, I wrote down earlier.
Yeah,
a mentor.
You want a mentor.
Yeah.
You want a guy that makes more money than you. Finances, security, stability, all these things. Is someone who's less than you going to be able to provide these things?
No.
Someone who's superior to you, correct?
Right.
Yes.
So therefore, if you're with someone who's superior to you and a leader, etc., how can you expect them to treat you equal, like you were saying earlier?
Because
See how it doesn't make sense? This is what I mean when I say like don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like I kind of let you guys yap earlier and say what you guys wanted to say.
Yeah.
But the reality is you guys don't know like what it takes.
you can't say we don't know what it is.
Honestly, think about it like this.
Y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm telling you right now.
Because
So
a man is
That's
not
not
true.
true.
let me finish what I'm saying. Okay, we let you guys talk earlier. Because it's one thing to attract a man, it's another thing to retain a man, and I'm teaching you how to retain. Now, if you want to go ahead and continue to attain and just get not taken seriously, that's fine. You keep yapping. But I'm telling you how to actually retain a man. You retain a man by being submissive all the time, not when you pick and choose. And the other thing too is that because you mentioned like, oh well, I can pick and choose when I want to be dominant. Like if he's gambling and stuff, I'm gonna step in and say something. Well, I'm gonna say you fucking lost in the beginning. Why are you getting with a guy that's gambling money like that? Right? It's on you as the woman to like get with a guy that doesn't have destructive habits.
Right.
Like if you get with a guy that's gambling and doing stupid shit, whatever, and this is your man, this is supposed to be your leader, you're a dumbass for getting with him. Why are you even there? If you got to be with a guy where you got to correct him about shit like that, then you already lost as a female. To be honest with y'all. This is where it's very important. This is why I think, again, remember how you guys said before, oh yeah, well, men run to women with their problems. That's not good. You should be going to your dad. You should be going to your brother because men are better problem solvers. We've already proven this. Everything that you see, everything that you... I'm wrong? The microphone you're using right now is built by a man. The studio here was built by men. Men build and create society. We don't build and create anything besides kids. And you need a man to do that too.
How are you?
So the reality is...
women that do the man's job now.
Everything I'm saying is factual.
How it?
Men build and create society. They don't build anything.
Let him finish.
Don't build anything. They just extract resources from men. That's why when I asked you guys, what do women look for? Excuse me? You said it's cap?
There are some women that build shit that men even use.
What?
There are some shit that men build.
No. Tell us three things.
Yeah, tell us what.
Madam C.J. Walker. It's a female that made the freaking first tub and shower. Like I can't name them off rip, but I researched.
We can shower nature.
If you could give me my phone, I can show you.
When I went around, look, it doesn't matter because men create like 95% of inventions and modern things that you enjoy today. Another thing too is that when I asked you guys what do women look for, all of you gave resource dominant traits. Security,
I didn't say all that.
Stability, finances, etc. Like almost all of you gave or knowledge, stability. All of you guys gave things that are pursuant to resource creation. So why is that? It's because what I said, men create and women extract. It's not like, it is what it is. Like, don't build anything. That's just the facts. You look at construction sites, do you see women there? No. Almost never.
There are female construction workers though.
What are they?
We're not going to try to downplay them.
What's the percentage of them? What's the percentage of them?
Like 2%. Come on, man.
Okay, but
If
we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it correctly. Because at the end of the day, women didn't have rights till how long ago?
Yeah,
So number one. So then number two is, so just because it's a lower percentage of women in construction or man or mostly man businesses, that means that it doesn't fucking matter?
Okay.
No, I'm not
Just
saying
because
it
there's
doesn't
2% of women in
matter.
construction, that means that it's still a fucking man.
Okay, so explain this to me. Women are more educated now than ever before. They're
Yes.
graduating college at a higher rate than men.
Yes.
Almost 3/4 of college attendees are females.
Okay.
Right? But why is it that men overwhelmingly are the representative when it comes to hard manual labor jobs that we just discussed?
That's true. Men build roads.
Still.
They build a lot of stuff.
Women have more rights and privileges now than ever before. I would argue that women have more rights and privileges than men do.
But
However, they still represent a minority of hard labor jobs. Why is that?
I can't tell you the reason.
Oh, I'll
why.
answer it for you. Don't worry, I wrote a book on this shit.
Yeah, go ahead. Actually, lecture me.
It's because
Teach me
I'm not
something.
lecturing you. I'm just
No,
telling
I'm
you the
not
truth.
saying I'm not
She
saying
said
it in a
teach
bad
her.
way.
Because
Teach me something.
It's
Teach me
because
something I
women
don't know.
are inherently when it comes to resource creation and making money and doing hard labor jobs.
But that is-
okay, they
so
don't want to
is
work
that
these
the-
jobs.
So is that the reason why a lot of women own a whole bunch of businesses, nails, hair,
Notice how none of
lashes?
them are manual labor jobs, which is what I'm talking to you about.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about
The discussion started with hard manual labor jobs in creation. Remember that? So I said, don't create things, really. They really don't. Creating a business here and there with a salon, fantastic. But I'm talking about infrastructure of
you mean, like,
humanity,
actually creating
society,
shit.
the water running, the power running, all the modern
roads.
conveniences that you don't even think twice about. That's all male run. Women don't
Okay.
run none of that shit.
man-made. Yeah.
Yes, it's man-made for a reason. And then now, in today's society, if you apply for an engineering job and a man applies for an engineering job, assuming you're both engineers, you're way more likely to get that job. But why are women still underrepresented in these fields? Because they don't want to do these jobs. Women want to sit in an air-conditioned building in their little suits,
I mean-
or maybe a hair salon, and do jobs that aren't necessarily hard, and that's fine. But that's from a biological standpoint.
Honestly, I would say in this generation and right here in 2024, there's a lot of women out there that are getting out into the field and doing a lot of things that women weren't doing before.
That's great.
I know a lot of women that are construction
That's
workers
irrelevant.
that work besides.
That's
What do you
great.
mean
That's irrelevant if you know, because
How is that
That's how
irrelevant?
minority- because that's
it's
a
a
minority.
huge, it's a small minority of women. If we
So
went ahead
we're
and
coming-
took, if we went ahead and actually, someone made a video about this shit. It's very interesting. If we went ahead and like relied on our infrastructure to be run by women, the world would shut down.
But the
There's not
only
enough.
reason why it's not why it would be shut down is because men never gave women a chance. Women were always the one in that
a chance
house
now.
cooking
Give a chance now.
and
What did I
taking
just?
care of kids.
What did I just tell you? If a
So-
woman applies for the same job as a man in an infrastructure
But
job,
why is it like that? Why is there not equal pay? Why? Because back then men had to do the work, had to do this, had to do that, and third, and when women had to stay in the house and cook and clean and take care of the kids.
I understand
So
both.
therefore, when you're grown, when times and years are coming and changing, at the end of the day, men and women are not going to be equal, and women are not going to be doing the same thing as men. Because at the end of the day, when it was there and then back
I
then,
just explained
men
to
and
you.
women were doing the same
I just
thing.
literally explained to
I
you
understand
that if
her
a
point, though,
man,
what you're trying to say.
she's incorrect again.
I know she's
incorrect again.
Whether I'm incorrect,
If I
do you
took-
understand?
If I took him, no. Here's the difference between me and you.
It sounds good.
I understand your argument, which is why I'm able to refute it. You don't understand what I'm saying.
I understand where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, just because I don't agree with what you're saying, I can understand what you're saying and make my point still. Whether I'm
You
incorrect,
just made a
whether,
point that was directly refuted by what I said a second ago. You said women aren't able to work these jobs, and I
I said
literally
back
just told
then.
you.
I said back then.
Okay, but right now they can, and as a matter of
can.
fact,
I
they
did agree with that.
are hired at a higher rate, even if they're not qualified.
Yep.
So explain this to me.
But that's
You
what
can
I
go
agree
ahead and be a construction worker as a woman, make $100,000 per year. You could be a plumber, you could be an electrician, etc. Hell, we even brought a plumber on this show one time, a female. She couldn't pass the test, but guess what they did? They passed her anyway because they needed women on that bad. She was not
good look.
qualified and still got the fucking job. There's women right now that are police officers that can't pass the physical fitness test of the man side, but they get hired with lower standards. So women can absolutely get into these career fields that you're complaining women can't get into. And not only
never
that, they can get
said-
in when they're not as qualified, right? And they get hired at a higher rate. So what is the excuse?
Again, I never said that women couldn't get hired. I'm just stating back to the main question was man-made things and how men built roads and how men did this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing it back to the fact that when men were making these things, that women were allowed to be outside and build and build constructions and do this and do that and third. Why? Because they were in the houses. So now, are you trying to make it seem like it's an issue because now women are getting hired even though they don't have the correct qualifications, or because now they're getting jobs because they're not
I'm telling you that women don't
qualified?
work these jobs because they don't want to. That's what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter if they were allowed, because you're trying to make the argument that they weren't allowed. No, they were allowed. They just choose not to do these jobs.
Back then, women were allowed to work those jobs.
He's talking
Yes.
about now.
Okay.
Well,
He
back then they
basically
were.
We just gonna leave it at that then. We agreed to disagree, and that's fine.
Are you aware of the fact that in
That's
World War II, women were in infrastructure jobs when all the men went over to
Yeah, they had to.
Europe?
The women had
I
to
do.
do all the
Okay.
men jobs.
And then when the
while
men
they
came
was in
back,
war.
But
why did the
Because
women
the men
stop?
left,
Okay,
right?
and then when the men came
Because the
back,
men left.
what did the women do?
What did the women tell me?
They did what they wanted to do. They went back to the fucking house, and that's how you have baby boomers, a whole generation of them. So if
Okay.
women are given the choice, see, that's what I'm trying to say. You don't know what you're talking about, okay? Because women were given these opportunities back in World War II, and then when given the opportunity, when men come back, what do they fucking do? Let's have babies, because women don't want to work these jobs.
Okay.
And that's
Period.
fine.
That's what the
Some
fuck it
women
is.
don't.
That's fine.
Don't sit here and try to argue with me about women weren't given these opportunities. They fucking were. They just don't want to work these jobs.
Generalizing.
Not all women.
That is how the world works. It works on generalizations. The majority of women don't want to work these jobs. Okay, you guys want to have your nails and do your hair and shit like that.
Majority. He
And
said
these
majority.
laborious.
Listen. He said majority.
Wait.
Listen, he's not saying all. He said
No,
majority.
no.
He said
It's not that
general,
they
but
don't
okay.
want to. It's just that the world has been saying over and over again that ladies, women, they cannot do that. So it's been said, and it's been
Or too
put into
masculine.
our heads since we were kids. So it's not that we don't want to. That society put us through
All right,
this.
let's use your
and-
That's a
lie.
Let's use your mindset. Society. Let's blame the society, right?
Because I worked hard labor jobs when I was pregnant, 2 jobs. So.
Yeah, but
I
I be
literally
saying
was out
that
in the sun flagging.
that
Okay, but
women,
you're not doing it now.
Women have to be.
You're not doing it now.
Showing for an
Women
example,
cannot
though,
do that.
Okay, but you did it. You did it, but you didn't want to do it. A man
didn't
is
care.
Exactly,
okay, but
but
you're not doing it now, right?
Nah, because I don't
Okay.
have to.
Okay,
Maybe
my
that's
point.
the
But
whole
I-
argument, right? Men
but
do it because
the-
they
but
have
it's
to.
ingrained.
Yes.
Okay, I
it's
understand.
ingrained in our heads that we cannot do
men are
it.
willing. Men are far more willing to do laborious jobs to earn
Than
income
women.
than women are, because
Yes.
women are lazy when it comes to doing laborious
no,
jobs.
no,
I don't know.
It's not that they're
I don't know
lazy.
One
why
at a
you guys
time.
can't accept reality, biological reality, that you guys simply can't do a lot of the
Because
things that we
everybody's
do.
reality is not
That's
the
true.
same.
It's
That's your
biologic-
reality.
yeah, it's
I
biological
don't give
reality.
a fuck. I'm going to do what I got to
Yes,
do. Because
but
I
he's
was raised
saying-
like that. My daddy didn't
Period.
play that.
Yes. but
Wait.
he's
I know how to
saying-
change my own tire.
He's not saying
I know how to
you
do
don't.
a lot.
He's saying that
But
you
how many women can
cannot.
do that? That's a low IQ argument.
I agree with
Okay.
you. You're saying like majority, but
Yeah.
I'm stating
No,
I'm not the
biologically-
majority. Not all females. Like
Majority.
Okay, that
You're
is
right.
okay. Look,
Biologically,
so
you're right.
look, if someone makes an objective statement, right, and then you respond by saying that doesn't apply to me, and you make an entire rant on what doesn't apply to you, that's low IQ behavior.